What's going on, guys? Hope y'all are doing fantastic today. In today's episode, I will be reviewing a fragrance that gets compared to an extremely hyped, extremely popular men's fragrance. Some say this fragrance is extremely powerful. So powerful, some have called it the Kingslayer. And it's definitely not this fragrance. Not this fragrance whatsoever. It's this guy, Nishane Hacivat. Many reviews have been made about this fragrance, and today I'm going to put my 2 cents in on it. I'm going to be pulling back the layers, breaking this bad boy down, and letting you know whether or not I believe it's worth the hype, worth the price, and most of all, if it's worth a whiff and sniff. So stay tuned. Cue that intro. What's going on, my beautiful fragrance family, and welcome back to My 2 Cents. My name is Brian, and this is the show all about boosting your confidence through the art of fragrance and becoming a lasting scent. My very first episode from My 2 Cents was all about Nishane Hacivat and how this is the new king to my fragrance kingdom. Basically putting up a comparison against Aventus. But look, this is not a comparison episode. Why? I don't own Aventus, and I never will. Because this fragrance, even though there's similarities and it gets compared and contrasted to Aventus or He Who Shall Not Be Named, they are completely different fragrances. They share similarities, but again, completely different fragrances. But before we get into the full review, I just need to mention, I just want to let you all know why my episodes have been a little bit sporadic the past week and a half. My dad's having surgery tomorrow, so I have been working extra because I'm taking some time off of work. I'm trying to figure everything out, trying to get him prepared, get him ready, because like I said, I'm going to be taking some time off of work, which is great for you because I'm going to be doing a lot more episodes in the next few days, but I'm also on daddy duty. So I take care of both my parents, and I'm going to be putting a lot of time into helping him out and his recovery. So I just want to let you know that's why things have been a little bit sporadic. But now that that's out of the way, it's time to get into the review. In today's, people have been swinging at me for years, but they always seem to miss whiffs and sniffs. Nishane Hacivat was launched in 2017. The nose behind it is George Lee or Jorge Lee. Some say this is a clone or a dupe or an inspired by of Creed Aventus or He Who Shall Not Be Named. But this fragrance I will have on my shelf. Creed Aventus, I won't. But I need to clarify. Aventus is a fantastic fragrance. It's fantastic. I have a lot of friends who rock that fragrance. They own their own businesses. They're successful. And it's a fragrance that boosts their confidence and makes them feel amazing. And to me, that's all that matters. And that's all that should matter to you. So if you love Aventus, rock it. This isn't Aventus to me. Though this is the king of my fragrance kingdom, but we'll get into that in just a second. Again, not a comparison episode. Aventus is a fantastic fragrance. It's just not for me. I'm not going to spray this on skin because it'll be on me for the rest of the day. And I need to go shower. I just got off work and I've got a new fragrance I'm going to be sampling this evening. So we'll spray here on a test strip. Awesome atomizer. Notes will be right here for you. To start things out, we got pineapple, grapefruit, and bergamot. Now the only comparison and the similarity that I get from Hacivat and from Aventus is the pineapple. And that is the last time that I am going to talk about and compare He Who Shall Not Be Named against Hacivat. Because the rest of it, completely different to me. So the grapefruit, I don't get a whole lot of grapefruit because the grapefruit and bergamot are blended so well together that what they do is they just kind of add a little bit of bitterness to the sweet, juicy pineapple. So it just kind of rounds things out, balances out the sweetness, and allows it to be fruity, but not overly sweet and fruity. If I think hard about it, I can kind of get the grapefruit, but it's really not there. It's not a predominant note. So the heart notes, you are going to get patchouli, cedar, and jasmine. Now the jasmine is not really a predominant player in this fragrance. It's definitely more of a supporting role. This is really focused on that fruity pineapple and bergamot combo. Nice woods, some musks, though there's no musks in the note breakdown, and oak moss. So you do get some greenness and some earthiness from the patchouli. I think that the patchouli kind of just blends very well with that pineapple and just adds a little bit of a fruitiness to it, a little bit of a slight sweetness to it. About 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour into the fragrance, the bergamot and grapefruit, they go bye-bye. Bye-bye. They're gone, okay? Completely gone. I don't pick those up anymore. You're left with that pineapple that actually sits back. It's just hanging out. And then the base notes start coming in. And the oak moss. The oak moss in this is incredible, okay? So no smoky accords. Just oak moss, some more woods, and I get musks yet again. And the musks are tailored into this fragrance, so I think, because again, it's not in the note breakdown, But I believe the musks are tailored into this fragrance to help just smooth everything out, to round out and bring together all the rest of the accords, that jasmine, the pineapple, the woods, the patchouli, and the oak moss. Now this is a very oak moss heavy fragrance. When it fully dries down, that pineapple is still there, but it really lingers in the background, like way far in the background. It's more in the audience than it is on the stage, if you know what I mean. The oak moss and woods, pow! Really punch you in the face. And that's what I love about this fragrance. Though if you don't like oak moss, this probably is not going to be the fragrance for you. This is not something I would recommend because this is very oak mossy and woody predominant, because those are what last the longest. But if you love oak moss, then you, my friend, need to bask in the beauty that is Hacivat, because the oak moss is incredible. And that's what I thoroughly enjoy the most about this fragrance. I categorize this fragrance as a fruity, aromatic, woody chypre that's oak moss dominant. This, to me, is more along the lines of a classic chypre, though modernized, but it's still a classical composition. This is an extrait de parfum, and it definitely resonates like an extrait de parfum. Now let's talk about longevity. I'm going to go ahead and throw this up here because this is the bottle and the batch that I have. Because I've heard that there are batch code variations. I don't know. I have no idea. Because my bottle, I get 10 to 12 hours of longevity out of it. Let me know in the comments down below if you've had any issues with longevity, performance, batch code variations. I'm really curious. Let me know what your batch codes are. Maybe we can talk about it, because I don't know where to check batch codes on Nishane fragrances. And that sucks if you do have issues with longevity. Now, remember, it might not just be the fragrance. It could be your skin, because we all have different skin chemistry. I have fragrances that a lot of reviewers are like, oh, this is beastly on my skin, and I get crap performance. I tend not to blame the fragrance. Sometimes, but most of the times I don't, because it's probably just my skin. Because then I do have fragrances that people say are terrible on their skin, and I get amazing performance from. Amazing. So just remember, everybody's skin's different. Your skin just might suck up fragrances differently than somebody else's. So let's talk about sillage. The sillage, I get an amazing sillage from it. I get more than an arm's length for like 3-4 hours. I mean, it's crazy. I have learned that I only do 3 sprays with this, because 3 sprays gives me a scent bubble that surrounds me like Jimmy Livingston. Name that movie. That's going to be a tough one. Okay, tough one. You're probably going to have to Google it. And this has pulled me some great attention. This fragrance to me exudes confidence, it exudes class, it exudes refinement, it exudes versatility to me. Because even though I love wearing this fragrance like I'm dressed now, you know, business casual or even more dressed up, it gives me enough confidence that I do feel comfortable wearing it buttoned down. Or even like with jeans and a nice Henley and maybe a sports coat. I don't really wear it with like jeans and t-shirt, like super casual, but for me, it gives me enough confidence to where I can dress it down a little bit. But it really, really works and really shines being dressed up. The great thing about this fragrance is that it does last so long. Well, on my skin, I have so much time over the course of the day to get some extra attention from it, which I don't honestly care about. But if you do, this can definitely turn some heads for you. Why? It's fruity. It's masculine, because it really is. Once you get into those masculine accords, that oak moss and those woods, it becomes the definition of class and refinement. It smells expensive, because it is expensive, which takes me to the next point. Though this fragrance retail is still cheaper than He Who Shall Not Be Named. I know, I said I wouldn't talk about him again, but retail is expensive. But it pops up at discounters all the time. I bought this 50 ml for $135 quite some time ago. If you keep an eye out on discounters, it pops up between that $125 and $150 range. But I will say this, I don't think this is a must buy. I don't. Because there's so many other amazing fragrances out there. Tons of them. But this is one that is a must try. Definitely get yourself a sample of it. Get yourself a decant. Head over to decantx. I think it's $18 for a 5 ml, somewhere around there. You can use my discount code 2scents17 for 17% off. It's a great way to test drive. I get no kickbacks, I get no money from it. It's just there for you to help you along your fragrance journey. This fragrance is the king of my fragrance kingdom, which I also think is kind of silly, because I have tons of fragrances that I would consider kings in my fragrance kingdom. This is just one of them. Let's get into my overall thoughts. This fragrance definitely deserves the hype. In fact, in my opinion, it deserves more hype than it gets because it's that good. If you like those classic chypres, those fruity, aromatic, woody, oak mossy fragrances with a nice modern twist, very sophisticated, refined, classy, and in my opinion, extremely versatile, this is a great fragrance for you. And it could be the next signature scent for you because this is definitely a signature scent worthy fragrance. On my skin, very long lasting. Scent bubble, crazy. Overall scent, I give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's a fantastic fragrance. If you're looking for an attention-getting fragrance, this could be it. Because if it works on your skin and you get that longevity, you have so much time throughout the day to be able to grab attention. This is totally worth a whiff and sniff. Don't forget, go to decantx, get yourself a decant, 2 cents 17 for 17% off, and give it a whirl. It might just be the next king in your fragrance kingdom. And if you test drive it and you like it, well, you're welcome. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you enjoyed today's episode, then do me a favor. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you are stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trails.